What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about B3 Base Token today. Base Network. Hit that like button, subscribe. We're talking about this at the request of Natalie Harrison. We're doing this for you. Let's see. We're at about half. We're at 0.005626 cents right now. You have dropped a little bit. Yesterday could have been your low, you guys. It really could have been your low. But let's see. From a low to a high, yeah, you went just below your golden ratio. I think that you probably do continue to go lower. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but I would expect that. Why? This is actually very validating. Yes, you've grinded out the golden ratio. You went below it, and then you came back up and you found resistance. You didn't grind the resistance though, did you? You found direct resistance off of it. If you come back up here, if we start to grind it some more, okay, things can change, right? If you start doing stuff like what you did here, but from the downside, if you start doing stuff like this, okay, maybe then we do move up to the upside. But you would need to grind it with higher lows. Like you grinded it here with lower highs, you would need that kind of to an opposite effect to imply that you're going higher. Until then, the target remains something at about 0.0052 to 0.00494489, something like that, right? That's where we would go. And it is completely possible, my friends, that we could go lower. Yes, I know nobody wants to hear that, but it is. It's very possible that we could go lower from the current price here, from this current price. I mean, a 24% drop shouldn't scare you. It's a completely possible, very valid notion that could happen. A 30% price drop could also happen, right? It's completely possible that this thing drops less than that. But the average altcoin, I'm anticipating Bitcoin to go down below 74K, right? Probably even just below 72K. If that happens, like we're talking about a 14% drop for Bitcoin, I would imagine this thing drops more than Bitcoin. So a double bottom, I think, would be your best kind of your best case scenario would be that you find support at the 0.0052 area, right? About an 8% drop from here. And I suppose it could happen, right? It really could happen. But what you would need to see there is a positive reaction. If you bounce from here and you get back above your golden ratio, okay, if you get a positive reaction, then that drop, whenever it happens for Bitcoin, you would still drop more than Bitcoin, but you'd be at a higher price so that you would avoid this lower low scenario. But I do think you're going to continue to drop. I think what you're getting set up for B3 is a double bottom kind of situation here, right? It's a very, very long, slow grind to the downside, and I think that what's going to happen is you're going to literally do something like this, where you had your V-shaped recovery. Kind of, I don't know if it's V-shaped. It's kind of U-shaped, to be completely fair, right? With that bottom U-shaped recovery, and we're going to come down. And we're just going to slowly grind down to a low area, maybe a lower low area. You'll have a longer. This one's a short-lived bottom. The second bottom is going to be longer lived. You're going to leave people on the edge of their seat. Are we going lower? Is it going through the floor? Is it not? Is it time to get in? I don't know. If it was time to get in, shouldn't we bounce? You did that last time. You're going to have all these uncertain kind of thoughts come out. And really what's going to happen is it's just going to be a long time for people to get out if they're scared and get in if they're prepared. And we're probably going to move up in a very, very short amount of time is what my expectations are. So yes, absolutely. And what I want to say, let me think of a coin that looks like this right now. That would be a good one. I can't think of any of them, man. I genuinely can't think. Maybe Bitcoin Cash actually might be a good example. Let's see. I'll show you what I mean. Okay. Let's see. Keep on. We got to go way back when. Okay. So yes, something like this, kind of, right? Not so much, damn. It's to a similar notion. What I was going for is this kind of look. It's just you got these two peaks here. I'm looking for one peak, but where you have a bottom, and then you have a peak, and then you have a double bottom, right? This kind of thing. Once you get above that peak, that nipple right there, you see explosive behavior happen. That's what I was thinking. But it's not quite the same. This is more of a long accumulative phase here. It's not quite the same, but what I'm talking about is just that classic W setup. Oh, maybe, you know what? I think XPR might be a good one. XPR network is definitely a good one. Yeah. Yep, this is a good example of that, right? Let's look at this on a weekly basis here. Perfect. Yes, exactly. This is what I think B3 is getting set up to do, right? We've already done this part. Now we're going to come out and do this next part here, this next low. It might be a higher low. It could be a double bottom. It could be a lower low. Whatever it might be, though, it's going to be some kind of W shape. And once you break through the nipple, you get explosive behavior. You might even explode beforehand as well, going into it. So just if you take that same kind of concept here and understand that you've got your W here, you're just coming down to form that lower part of the W. And once it comes to finding this lower part, it'll probably be a little bit lower than you are now, maybe even a little bit lower than this or somewhere around that area. And once once you're done with that, you're gonna have a nice immaculate recovery. I'll probably buy some B3 at those prices, honestly, you guys. I had a lot of people, and I appreciate you guys. I understand, but I don't let my emotions get the best of me, man. If I'm wrong, I just eat it. If things take off without me, I just eat it. But throughout this whole time, I was expecting, even throughout here, I was expecting that we'd pull back to these areas, if not lower. So the low is not valid yet. It's completely possible we could go below it, but I very much do doubt that if we go below 0.0045 cents, I doubt that we go below like 0.004 or 0.0042 even, right? I don't think we're going to go too much lower, but a significant amount from here nonetheless. 4-hour RSI, not looking bullish, but it's pretty neutral. It's not bearish either. I mean, that's what you get with a very neutral kind of price action thing here. 1-hour time frame set up to be bullish. Hey, you got a little bit of volume coming in here. That's not bad, but a little bit is not a lot of it. It's not really that impressive, right? I think I'll stand by this, what I was saying in the beginning of the video. From a low here, come on now, from a low, there we go, from a low to a high. If you can, start to close days above the golden ratio at about 0.005764. If you can close days above that, multiple days in a row, the idea of going lower than this low might be less likely. Going lower than this low, it still could be there. It's absolutely still there, but even that's less likely. If, however, and what I'm saying is, going up above here, closing up above here, it's not the same thing as a wick, right? You wicked above it this time, and that's not the same. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a closing price above here, not a wick. You can wick up there all you want, but if you got to close above there, okay? And if you do that, we have to rethink things. But if not, the target area as of now is 0.0052 to 0.008, or 49 around there. And it's completely possible. I don't think that you go to 0.0038. I personally don't expect that to happen, but I would anticipate maybe 0.0044, 0.0042, something like that could happen as well. Anything and everything. I know it's not the most tight range, but something in this kind of range here is what I would expect. And even so, I would actually more expect the 786 doesn't hold. I think you do hit the 886, but time will tell. We're looking for some kind of a double bottom, okay? Until proven otherwise. And if you happen to get above 7.275 cents, if you can do that on a daily closing basis, this is a valid low. Everything I've said is completely off, and I should have bought here, damn it, and we're going higher. And whenever it is time to go higher, I guess we can end on a good note. Let's do that. When it is time to go higher, I'm going to take this low, because even if we go lower, I'm assuming it'll be a fake out low. I think this low will be adhered to when it comes to moving higher. You look at the 0.69, that could be where we go as well. That's another target right there at about half a cent, which is about like 10-13% below where we are now. The target areas to achieve, first and foremost, when we do find our low somewhere in this area, wherever it is, will be first the golden ratio. So we'll probably see an immaculate move up to the golden ratio, right? Something at about 1.12 cents to 1.24 cents, okay? From the current price, it's not crazy growth, but it's nice. It's definitely nice. That's a 100% move to 120% move. That's nice. Nobody's going to be upset with that, right? Let alone if it does go lower, and I think it will go lower. You probably find resistance there, some turbulence there. If it's strong, you'll find resistance or support at the 0.5. If it's even stronger, you might find support at the 618. You might break above the 618 and find support there, but something in this area. And then you'll continue onwards. Maybe you'll stop at the 886 and come back down and consolidate, or maybe, just maybe, with this kind of setup, you'll push right on through to prices that are at about 3 cents to 5 cents. Just below 5 cents, just below 3 cents, but something in that area there. And that for B3 would likely, from the current price, promote an overall growth at a minimum standard of about a 5x to potentially an 8.6x, something in that kind of range. Is it possible it could go higher? I'm glad you asked. Yes, it is possible that on this next move, by the end of April, by the end of May, maybe even sometime in June, that you could be higher. This thing could be worth more than 10 cents. You could see something that's greater than a 20x, genuinely. I'm not saying that for bullish effect. It is bullish and it's effective, I suppose, on our emotional standards. But I do think, if you hit the 2272, likely you do go a little bit above it. I do like the 0.123. I kind of like that. Maybe this is one of those scenarios where you do find resistance right there, and in which case that's like a 22x from here. But it wouldn't surprise me at all if you went to like a 15.3 cent kind of price area. That could happen as well. So anything and everything in between. I know it's a big range, 3 cents to 15 cents. I personally would expect by the end of this move, sometime at the end of May, that you are going to be around 5 cents, if not higher. The most likely area might not be 5 cents itself, or even 13 cents, 14, 15 cents itself, but something that's in between, maybe at 7 to 8 cents, something like that could happen. But something stupendous is coming your way. Just got a little bit more downside to go through. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.